Hi, this is Kirsten Bible, and today we're going to go through the course that I have partially built out on Blackboard for distance education. The course is Music Theory and Appreciation, so it's basically a music history course set in a framework of music theory. The target audience is Freedom Project Academy, so it's homeschool 11th and 12th graders. This is in a classical education setting with Judeo-Christian values underpinning everything. So let's get to the fun part, the structure of the course. So I've set this up on the unit module topic model that was described in our textbook. That worked really well for me. And you can see here, these are the two basic units that I put into my course for this project. The introduction, which is kind of a mini unit, and then the first unit, elements of music, and the introduction to the orchestra. So you can see that this is the basic unit structure, and then you go in a little deeper into the unit and you have the modules, and then within those modules are different topics. So let's talk a little bit about how I selected the content. There was a method to my madness. So let's look at the overall course content and then the unit content. So overall course content, and I just pulled a snapshot of this, you can see, is that we've got music theory and then music appreciation, music theory and then music appreciation. So you can see for Unit 3, we do some basics of pitch and rhythm and meter, and then we talk about the Middle Ages, which makes sense because the Middle Ages is very simple. It's basically Gregorian chant, so that fits really well. Then in Unit 4, we get into compound meter and melody, and that is the Renaissance. So as the music theory becomes more complex, so does the music that they'll be listening to. This is the whole point. They can hear how music theory progressed along with music history. So we get into the unit content. In this unit in particular, or these two units, I've got a introduction to the course, which includes Practica Musica, which is the software we're going to be using, and music theory assessment. And then we also have music texture, dynamics and tone color, acoustics of sound, introduction to the orchestra for the second unit. And the reason that we're starting with the music theory assessment is very simple. I just need to know what they know before I can actually start teaching the music theory. So the first unit does not actually deal with any music theory for that reason. Okay, let's talk a little bit about lesson activities. There's just a basic overall structure of readings, videos, and sometimes other items like word pictures, for instance. So readings basically come from textbooks, sometimes some online articles. And then the videos tend to be YouTube content, and they might be original content. So I have a lot of my own original videos, and then also there are some really great videos out there that I can pull in for the course. And then here's this really fun word picture that I did about the acoustics of sound using the clarinet as an example, and I pulled all of the Creative Commons pictures that I could find to pull this together. And so I'll be doing some items like this as well. And of course there will be some other things too, but this is specific to what I've developed so far. Assessments. So you can see I've got 3 and 3 here. So we've got discussion board, brief papers, and listening quiz. And that's again in this small unit. And what I'm trying to accomplish is interaction, synthesis, and analysis. So discussion board, of course, is sharing of ideas, interacting with their classmates. Brief papers, I want them to synthesize things that they have learned in new and interesting ways. So they have to really think outside of the box in order to write these brief papers. And they really are brief, 1 to 2 pages, but I think it's going to really, really make their little brains work. And then, of course, the listening quiz, this is a little bit different. Instead of saying, what's the definition of monophonic music, they're going to hear a monophonic music example, and they're going to have to identify it as monophonic. Ideally, these will be music samples that they haven't heard before in the class. So that will take some time to set up, but I think it's going to be worth the effort. Academic integrity, this is really important. So what I've done for the academic integrity portion of this course is I've given them an informational section with a YouTube video and some articles so that they understand exactly what plagiarism is. Also, there's an informational section in their syllabus straight from the school handbook. As far as the assessments that I've put in, there's a couple of things that I've done to keep them on the straight and narrow path. So one of the things is no duplication in the discussion board. Another thing that I'm doing is using very unique topics. It's very hard to go and just find something from Wikipedia if it's a very unique topic. Then when it comes to the quizzes, timed quizzes with no backtracking is the name of the game. And I do use randomization as well. All right, so that is my course in a nutshell. I'm really looking forward to teaching it. I start teaching it at the end of August, and we will just see where it goes.